All right, guys. So CNN is gonna have David Hogg on to talk about gun violence and mass shootings in America. And guys, honestly, I really don't understand why is it that these news stations feel the need to have David Hogg on anytime they're talking about this subject. Like, I get that he went through probably one of the worst tragedies in American history. Like, I understand, the emotions involved with that. Like, I completely get it. I completely understand that perspective, that he is a survivor of that Parkland mass shooting. Like, I understand that. But other than that, the dude is not a journalist. Okay. He's not even a political commentator. He's not an expert in any type of gun policy or anything like that. Why is it they always drag him on TV to have discussions that really they should be having with policymakers and people that have more expertise in this area, but they keep bringing him on? And in my opinion, I think it's to elicit a emotional response. That's what it is. But every single time this guy talks, he never has a solution. It's all feelings. And guys, I just want to say this real quick because I got to make it clear because of the subject in the video, what we're talking about, plus, David Hogg's history. That, listen, it's not about him personally at all, right? I don't have a problem with him personally. He has his opinions. And this discussion that I'm having is about policy. That's all it's about. It has nothing to do with him as a person. It has everything to do with just policy. That's it. So this time they're talking about an increase in gun purchases over last year and over this year. And let's listen to David Hogg's response in terms of the reason why he believes that this is happening.
And it's not only gun violence that's going up, it's also gun purchasing. So in just the past year, in 2020, there were nearly 23 million gun sales across the United States. That's up 65% over the year before. And then in January, after the insurrection at the Capitol, there were 2 million gun sales, and that's up 75% compared to the January before that. So what's that about to you?
I think it's about fear. I think it's about the fact that as a country, oftentimes we would rather, unfortunately, turn on each other and point to someone's skin color or point to someone's immigration status or their gender or their sexual identity and claim that's the threat, when in reality, we should all be working together against the sources of evil that are creating this gun violence and the injustice that...
Okay, so he tried to say that what is leading to an increase in purchases of guns, he says it's fear, which I don't disagree with that, and I'll get into more detail, but what he says is that it's fear of somebody's gender identity, their skin color, their immigration status. Basically he's trying to say that people are purchasing more guns because they're racist or they're bigots. It's really ridiculous because the real reason why Americans are purchasing more guns is actually because of the left. It's because of the left. It's because every time there is a mass shooting or something tragic happens, the left loves to run on TV and talk about doing more gun control without thoroughly analyzing the situation, thoroughly understanding why did the situation happen. Did that person actually go through a background check? Did that person get the gun from somebody else? Did that person steal the gun? Did he get it illegally, legally, whatever, right? They never go through the process of how or why something happened. They just automatically jump to fear-mongering about guns. And of course, when they go out there and they fear-monger about guns, and you have Joe Biden going out there saying things like the Second Amendment is not absolute, yeah, of course people are going to be afraid and they're going to go out and purchase more weapons. They're going to purchase more guns. But that's because, again, the Democrats keep basically low-key threatening to take people's guns. So, of course, people are going to buy more. And the Democrats do this after every single mass shooting as political ammunition against the Republicans and the NRA. And there are consequences to that. The consequences is that more people purchase more guns. That's why I try to say the Democrats are not really trying to solve the mass shooting problem. They're not. They're not trying to solve that problem. They know that banning assault rifles won't fix that problem. Because basically a lot of mass shootings, most of them don't use assault rifles. They tried to ban before, it didn't work. They know it's not going to work. What they're really doing is that they're trying to pander to their base. And every single time they pander to their base, they just cause people to buy more guns. So in my opinion, it seems like the Democrats are actually causing the exact opposite effect in regards to guns in America than that they claim that they want. Because every time they talk, more people go and purchase more guns. It ain't got nothing to do with race or skin color. Okay? Also on top of that, in 2020, we had people rioting and protesting in the street. Black and white people. Again, this is not a race thing. You had black and white people. You had some people that was a part of BLM, some people that was a part of Antifa. Okay? They was basically calling for the destruction of America. I mean, a lot of these people were calling for America to be torn down, for us to tear down the country. Okay? With that being said, what do you think the natural reaction for people is going to be when they see people are taking their protests to other communities that they don't belong to? Don't you think that people are going to want to arm themselves and be protected just in case a mob shows up to their neighborhood? Of course. So yeah, he's right about it being a fear thing, but it ain't got nothing to do with race or skin color. It has everything to do with Democrat fear mongering and the riots and protests that we're seeing and the unrest we're seeing in the country, particularly coming from the left.
Promotes this gun violence and gun purchases in the first place. Because the reality is, what's going to help solve this situation is not somebody buying, another AR-15 or another gun. It's going to be all of us working together to change the political system and the corruption and system of loopholes that has brought in.
Okay, but what does that mean? What loopholes are you talking about? Show me the exact loophole, because really what they're talking about is the sale of personal property between private citizens. That's what they're talking about, which is perfectly legal in some states and then not so legal in other states. Okay, in which, some of these states you have to go through federally approved dealers. Okay, you have to go through dealers and gun shops that have an actual federal license. So again, I don't know what exact loophole are you talking about. I just want to talk about the gun show loophole, right? Everybody there that is a gun dealer at a gun show is federally licensed, which means they have to complete a background check. If you buy a gun from a federally licensed dealer or shop, then you're going to go through a background check. Now, there are people at these gun shows that do sell their personal guns, right? Their personal property. But again, this is few and far between. And again, it is legal in some states to do that, right? What exactly are you talking about? Keep in mind, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's all emotion. He has no real solutions. He doesn't really know what he's talking about. He's just repeating Democrat talking points. That's all he's doing. That's his job. Say the talking points. Don't give any real specific things. Just say the Democrat talking points. Every single time there's a mass shooting. Get them emotional.
Us to this place where a corporate, a corporate lobby, essentially like the NRA, is able to put such a chokehold on our elected officials that they're letting thousands of Americans die every year simply because they're more afraid of what the NRA will do in their next election than whether or not there's going to be another school shooting in their community or an everyday act of gun violence.
Bro, these people have not properly explained to me. All this attention and focus is being put on the NRA because they lobby. Okay, and I'm not saying I'm for lobbying or anything like that. Like, I do think corporate interest in politics is an issue, right? We've all experienced that. But what does that have to do with the fact that most gun deaths are from suicide? Right? People using a gun on themselves. Or when you look at a lot of gun violence in this country, they're concentrated in these liberal inner cities. And again, how many NRA members are committing mass shootings? Because again, I'm trying to figure out why is it that they continue to want to attack this group just because they're doing what they're designed to do, right? Which is to protect gun ownership rights. Why you want to attack them for that? That's what they're designed to do. You also have groups that are pro-gun control that also lobby in Congress. So it's not even like this dude is against lobbying in general. He's just against the NRA. He'd be all for unlimited amount of money being paid to politicians for an anti-gun lobby. He's cool with that. But when it comes to the NRA, oh no, that's a problem. just because they're lobbying in a direction that he don't like. Come on, man.
And that has to change. We have to come together as Americans and realize this isn't about being Democrats or Republicans. You know, that 6-year-old, that 14-year-old, that 12-year-old that die every day, they don't have a political affiliation. They're a kid that wants to grow up, and they deserve to grow up in peace and security, no matter their zip code, no matter the color of their skin or where they come from or who they are.
So you should be pro-police, right? You should be pro-police. If you really care about those people so much, you should be pro-law and order. I don't see you out here back in the blue. Matter of fact, I see you on Twitter actually asking to defund the police. So you're talking about how our neighborhoods need to be protected and you don't want to see kids lose their lives, but yet you're asking to defund the police. And not only that, you're low-key asking to disarm law-abiding citizens. Because most of the people committing these crimes, they're getting their guns illegally. They're stealing them. Okay, they're getting it through a black market. They're getting their guns illegally. Okay, through ways that the government can't prevent or track. So you're advocating to hurt law-abiding gun owner citizens, and then you're saying, let's defund the police, and you think that that's going to protect these kids and these children that are suffering from gun violence? See, again, this is my problem with progressives. When they actually do have solutions, okay, their solutions are bad. Most of the time, they have no solutions at all. And this is why I don't understand why they keep bringing him up here to talk about this issue. This dude has no solutions and he's not an expert. What are you talking to him about? But at the end of the day, what he's doing is he's just giving a Democrat talking points. That's what he's doing. He's not actually thinking about this issue for himself. He's not thinking through it. Because otherwise, he wouldn't ask to defund the police.
And we have a responsibility as older people to act to protect them so that in the future, they're able to be college students and they don't have to come on CNN and talk about, the fact that we're a country that uniquely has to deal with this situation, because we don't have to. It absolutely does not have to be this way.
David, what do you say to those groups?
Yeah. Here's the thing. It's just funny to me how, again, they keep bringing him on to talk about this issue. And then he goes and he blames gender and race and fear of immigrants and stuff like that. Again, it's, to me, the Democrats, I'm convinced that the Democrats don't really care about this issue, okay? They don't really care about this issue. They're not really trying to do anything about mass shootings. They don't really care, okay? What they're trying to do is elicit emotional response. That's what they're trying to do, purely to get votes. Purely just to get votes. And it's sad that they're playing off the ignorance of those on the left and their emotions in order to act like they're trying to solve a problem that they really don't want to solve. It's really sad to see so many people fall for this, because it is a very emotional issue for a lot of people. It is, on both sides, really. And the Democrats, in my opinion, are the ones that are continue to stoke the fear around this issue and are what is leading people to purchase more guns and more ammunition than they otherwise would. And then they want to turn around and complain about gun sales going up or gun violence going up or whatever. So, hey, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.